All right, let's jump right in. The Indian stock market. Wow, what a week, right? A real mix of ups and downs. And it's got pretty much everyone asking the exact same thing. After all that chaos, where do we go from here?
And I mean, just look at this Nifty 50 chart. It pretty much tells the whole story, doesn't it? You see those sharp drops followed by those quick little recoveries? That right there is the textbook definition of volatility. And honestly, it sets the stage perfectly for what we're going to talk about today. We're going to really dig in and try to figure out what's pulling the market in two different directions at once.
So the big theme here is that the market is, well, it's at a crossroads. It really is. And just looking at the headline number, the main index, that's not going to cut it. Because as soon as you scratch beneath the surface, you realize different sectors are telling completely opposite stories.
Yeah, and this chart right here, it shows you exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that. You've got Nifty Bank up, but then Nifty IT is down almost a full percent. That's a huge difference. And this split, this divergence, it's super important. It's like this massive tug of war between two of the market's biggest players, and that's exactly what's creating all this uncertainty.
Okay, so let's grab one end of that rope in our tug of war. We're going to start with the negatives, the, storm clouds gathering on the global horizon. These are all the outside forces, the international headwinds that are really putting a damper on how investors are feeling back here in India.
And these are the kinds of headlines that are driving that global story right now. We're talking about everything from potential U.S. tariffs all the way to geopolitical drama. So let's take a closer look and break down what each of these actually means for us.
All right, here's the breakdown. We've basically got four big headwinds pushing against us. First up, all this talk about U.S. tariffs, that could be a direct hit to Indian exporters, and that's a big reason why the IT sector is feeling the heat. Then you've got the rising tensions in the Middle East, which, as you know, always means potential trouble for crude oil prices. On top of that, U.S. markets took a bit of a dip, and that has a ripple effect, right? It can sour the mood for our early trading on the GIFT Nifty. And to top it all off, a key trade deal meeting got postponed, which just makes foreign investors a little nervous. You add all that up, and it's a pretty strong cocktail of negative news.
But hold on, that's just one side of the story. So now let's go to the other side of that tug-of-war rope. Because while everything on the global front looks a bit gloomy, we've actually got some really powerful positive things brewing right here at home.
And yeah, just like those global headlines, these domestic stories are really catching people's attention. We're talking new IPOs hitting the scene, some reassuring words from the government. These are the counterpoints, right? The reasons to be optimistic. Let's dive into those.
So what we've got here is a potential 1-2 punch of both cash and confidence. First, you've got two brand new main board IPOs, CleanMax Enviro and Shriram TwistX, about to open. That could pull a lot of fresh money into the market. And second, you have the Prime Minister talking publicly about banking security and KYC. That's the kind of thing that can really boost confidence in banking stocks. And remember, those are the stocks that are already holding up the market.
So, this is it. This is the core question, right? You've got these heavy global weights pushing the market down, but at the same time, you've got these positive domestic drivers trying to push it up. So which force is going to win this thing?
To even begin to answer that, we need to look for a clue. And that clue isn't necessarily about which direction the market will go, up or down. It's more about the character of the market right now. And to understand that, there is one single indicator that we absolutely have to look at.
And that indicator is the India VIX. You've probably heard it called the Fear Index or the Fear Gauge. It's a really cool concept. Basically, it measures what the market thinks volatility is going to be like in the very near future. So a low VIX means everyone's expecting smooth sailing. But a high VIX, whoa, that means the market is bracing for a storm.
And get this, just recently, the India VIX shot up by more than 6.5% in one day. That is not a small move, folks. When the so-called fear index jumps that much, that fast, it's a huge signal. It's telling us the market thinks something big is just around the corner.
And that right there is the big aha moment. See, the VIX doesn't predict whether the market will go up or down. Think of it more like a seismograph for the market, and right now it's detecting some serious tremors. What this is screaming at us is that it doesn't matter which direction the market picks, the ride is going to be bumpy. We need to brace for some big, big swings.
Okay, so let's put all the puzzle pieces together. We have the global negatives, the domestic positives, and this massive spike in volatility. What does it all mean for you? Let's boil it all down into a simple game plan for what to watch out for.
All right, here are the 3 things to keep on your radar. Number 1, keep a really close eye on those global cues. What happens with U.S. markets, any news on trade deals, that stuff's going to be critical. Number 2,
Watch that internal tug-of-war we talked about between IT and banking. The winner of that battle is going to tell you a lot about where sentiment is heading. And number 3, probably the most important of all, remember the VIX. Don't get caught off guard by wild swings. You have to expect them, you have to be ready for them.
And that really leaves us with one final, big question to think about. In a market that's basically flashing a giant warning sign for big swings ahead, maybe the most important question isn't which way will it go, but am I ready for the ride?